Dear students, in today's video we would talk about a letter to God written by G.L. Fuentes. As you know that the students who are in class 10 CBSE board, they have this story in their syllabus, and it's one of the important stories they have in their syllabus, and I wish them all best of luck for their upcoming exam. Now it's the most important time for them to have a quick look or recap of the story, and at the same time we would talk about the probable important questions, the very important questions that they should prepare for the exam. And we would go for the summary, and at the same time we would talk about the important questions. And if you have not yet subscribed my channel, please subscribe it and hit the bell icon to never miss an update from this. So let's begin the discussion. A letter to God, G.L. Fuentes. As we all know that the story is all about a farmer whose name is Lencho and who is completely dependent on cultivation. And this time his crops got completely ruined due to hailstones, and now he is so upset. But in the midst of this depression and all that, he has complete faith on God, and that's why he decided to write a letter to God to get 100 pesos, that is money, from God. And that's why he just went to the post office. He wrote a letter to God, and when the postmaster got the letter through the postman in the office only, he was a helpful person. He was so amiable and friendly by nature. So he asked the other staffs of the post office, and somehow he could manage 70 pesos, and he made it ready. And then when later Lencho came to the post office and inquired about the reply of the letter that he had written to God, he came to know that yes, a reply has come from God. And when he opened it, he found that it had only 70 pesos. Initially though, Lencho was so happy to got the reply, but later on he became so angry because he found that 100 pesos was not there, but it was only 70 pesos. And then instantly he started writing another letter, and he just fixed another stamp on it and placed it at the window of the post office, and he left the place. And further he also wrote in the letter that God, next time you don't send me the money through the post office or through the mail, because the post office staff here are a bunch of crooks, and they have stolen my money, and they would do the same thing. So this is the story all about. As you know, this is the summary of the story. Now we would talk about some very important questions from the story. So that's why I'm just mentioning the questions here in part. From the first portion of the story, the questions which are very important are where was Lencho's house situated? A question may come from here. Where was Lencho's house situated? Question number 1. Where was Lencho's house situated? Question number 1. And question number 2. What was Lencho's prediction, or what prediction did Lencho make? A question that is also very important. And one more question may come from here, from the first portion, that is who knew his fields intimately. As you can see the line here from the first portion, throughout the morning Lencho, who knew his fields intimately, had done nothing else but see the sky towards the northeast. So what do you mean by the line who knew his fields intimately. This question is also important, as Lencho is a farmer, and being a farmer, he knows the present status or condition of the soil, that is the field or the crops, that what does it need? Does it need fertilizer, or does it need water, or what is the condition of the field now? So being a farmer, he knows the all the needs and wants of the field. So this is the question actually talks about. Anyways, now moving ahead, as it is here that as you can see here, these are not raindrops falling from the sky, they are new coins. The big drops are 10-cent pieces and the little ones are 5s. So here a question may come that how has the raindrops been described? How has the raindrops been described? So the extremely sorry. So the raindrops have been described as new coins. And why have them described as new coins? Because Lencho is a farmer and cultivation is the only way of income for him. More crops means more money. So that's why he has called them coins or described them as coins. And he has described them in two ways. The big drops are 10-cent pieces and the little ones are 5. So a question may come from here. Anyways, now again a question may come from here that ran out to collect the frozen pearls. With a satisfied expression, he regarded the field of ripe corn with its flowers draped in a curtain of rain. But suddenly a strong wind began to blow, and along with the rain, very large hailstones began to fall. So that's the thing, that man proposes and God disproposes. So what exactly happened? What did he expect or predict, and what exactly happened? So this truly did resemble new silver coins. The boys, exposing themselves to the rain, ran out to collect the frozen pearls. A question may come that why did the boys go out? The boys went outside, exposing themselves to the rain to collect the hailstones. The hailstones here has been described as frozen pearls. Okay. Now a very important question comes here, that what was the impact of the hailstone? If they ask you this question, then you will have to write from here. Not a leaf remained on the trees. The corn was totally destroyed. The flowers were gone from the plants. Lencho's soul was filled with sadness. When the storm had passed, he stood in the middle of the field and said to his sons, a plague of locusts would have left more than this. The hail has left nothing this year. We will have no corn. That night was a sorrowful one. All our work for nothing. There is no one who can help us. We all will go hungry this year. So if they ask you the question, which has a maximum probability, that what was the impact of the hailstone, then you will have to write the answer from this portion only, and you should end up the answer with these following lines, that the impact of the hailstone was so much so that it led Lencho to say, or Lencho went to the extent of saying that night was a sorrowful one, all our work for nothing. From here only, all our work for nothing. There is no one who can help us. We will go hungry this year. So these are the questions which may come from here. Here I'm talking about the summary and at the same time the important questions from the various portions here. And at the same time, see how much firm belief did Lencho had on God, that but in the hearts of all who lived in the solitary house in the middle of the valley, there was a single hope that help from God would come. Don't be so upset, even though this seems like a total loss. Remember, no one dies of hunger. It's a very important line. It shows that Lencho is optimistic in life. He is not pessimistic. He is optimistic in life. It shows his optimism. That's what they say, no one dies of hunger. So here question may come from this line. Who said this? In which condition did he say this? Or what uh, impression do you form of the character from this line? So what did he do then? He wrote the letter, as you know. And here is another line. The Lencho was an ox of a man working like an animal in the fields. So here Lencho has been called an ox. Why? Because as he works harder or hardest in the field, almost like an ox, or like those animals. That means the hard work he does or he has to pay for cultivation is beyond any limit. That's why, and that hard work, that laborious work is not less than working as an animal. Anyways, that's why he has been described as an Oxio. And it also shows that how much hard work does cultivation need. As we know that India is also a country in which cultivation is the prime profession of people here. Majority of people in our country are involved directly in cultivation, and we know that how much hard work does it require. Being a farmer is not possible for everybody or anyone. Anyways, so that's why he has been called here an ox, because of his extreme hard work that he pays on his field for growing crops. And what did he write in the letter? That's also important. And what was the reaction of the postman? What was the reaction of the male staff, all the male staff? And a question may come regarding the character of the postmaster here, that what sort of a person he was and what did he do. Yes. Then the following Sunday, Lencho came a bit earlier than usual to ask if there was a letter for him. So what was his reaction when he received the letter that he thought was from God? And when Lencho received the God, how was his reaction? That's also important here to note. Lencho showed not the slightest surprise on seeing the money, because he had found faith that help would come from God. So these are the questions which are very important. And here I would say one thing, that when he finished, he went to the window to buy a stamp after writing another letter. When he just finished writing the letter, the next letter, he went to the window to buy a stamp. As we know that a stamp is to be set on the letter, fixed on the letter envelope to send it. So he just moved to the window to buy a stamp, which he licked and then affixed to the envelope with a blow of his fist. It also shows his anger, that he has been so angry that someone has taken the money away from the envelope. The moment the letter fell into the mailbox, the postmaster went to open it. It said, okay, so what did he write in his next letter? And what did he write in his first letter? What was Lencho's reaction on receiving the letter? So these are the questions which are very important, and you should prefer these notes from here. And if you have any other problem from this portion, you are most welcome to leave your comment on the comment section. Thank you so much. Thanks for watching.